reveal to expect a preemption on Monday, January 20, 2025, due to the U.S. presidential inauguration. On Tuesday, January 21, fans can expect Sally Spectra to have a happy surprise for Billy Abbott. Claire Grace Newman kicks off her plan. Ian Ward begs Tessa Porter for help. Plus, Victor Newman becomes suspicious of Nikki Newman. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Claire Grace Newman's killer plan. Y&R spoilers for Tuesday, January 21 reveal that Claire is determined to get rid of Jordan for good. Claire reasons that the only way to stop Jordan is to end her life. Claire already fed Jordan some false information. However, Victoria Newman doesn't want Claire's life to be in danger again. While Victoria isn't on board with murder, Nikki is. As Claire tries to figure out a killer plan, Nikki tells the women she has an idea. Y&R spoilers. Victor Newman suspects. However, Victor overheard the women talking. It doesn't appear that Victor knows they were talking about Jordan. However, Victor does become suspicious after watching Nikki, Victoria, and Claire rush out the door with their coats. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Ian Ward's next move. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Tuesday, January 21, reveal that Ian will continue plotting. Ian knows he is supposed to stay away from Society and Tessa. However, Ian goes back into Society and corners Tessa. Ian begs Tessa to help him make things right. In the background, Mariah Copeland can be seen outside Society glancing in the window. When Mariah sees Ian talking to Tessa, you bet she's gonna storm in there. While Claire plans to kill Jordan, will Mariah make good on her threat toward Ian? Y&R spoilers. Tuesday, January 21, 2025. Fans might also see Sharon Newman wake up in the sewer after passing out. Sharon now realizes that the life-saving water is tainted with PCP. So, even though Sharon was able to get free, she collapsed before making it very far. It's been a few days since Jordan has stopped by to check on her hostage. So when Jordan sees Sharon loose but passed out, she will likely chain her back up again. Jordan might also punish Sharon somehow for trying to escape. Sharon's family means more to her than her own life, so Jordan will likely threaten a loved one if she doesn't behave. Also, Sally tells Billy that she has a happy surprise for him. Is it a romantic surprise? It's not clear, but Sally is smiling, so it must be something good. Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember to keep watching the soap on CBS or Paramount Plus to find out what happens next. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Tuesday, January 20, promise some interesting bombshells in the land of Genoa City. Coming up on The Young and the Restless. Here's a programming notice fans need to be alerted to. While three ladies continue to plot out a murder, and someone has a fun surprise for their significant other. What's set to unravel during Tuesday's show? Time to find out. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Programming notice for Monday, January 20. Y&R spoilers for Tuesday, January 21, reveal that fans should be alerted to a programming notice. The soap will not be seen on Monday, January 20 due to the presidential inauguration, and it looks like the show will be preempted, as well as other shows, for all-day news coverage. No need to fret, Y&R fans. A brand new show will be aired as of Tuesday, January 21. So it's time to dive into all the fun drama to expect. Y&R spoilers. Nikki Newman's idea. Y&R spoilers for Tuesday, January 21. Suggests the show will pick up where Friday's episode left off, as Claire Newman, Victoria Newman, and Nikki Newman discuss the idea of getting rid of Jordan for good. Still, as the three ladies bring this fatal plot together, Claire realizes discretion is key, considering the circumstances. After all, they can't just find Jordan and simply off her for several reasons. This is when Nikki has an idea. During the Y&R preview for the week of January 20 to 24, she tells both Claire and Victoria to grab their coats. However, as the ladies head out, Victor Newman can be seen in the doorway. Has the mustache listened in on their plan, and how will he get involved? The Young and the Restless spoilers, Sally Spectra's surprise. Lastly, Y&R spoilers for Tuesday's episode reveal that Sally Spectra will have a surprise for Billy Abbott. During the Y&R preview for the week of January 20 to 24, Billy will be at the Jazz Lounge having a drink with Jack Abbott when she interrupts them and declares she has a surprise for Billy. By the smile on Sally's face, it sounds like she has a romantic surprise for him, so it'll be interesting to see what she does to show her new boyfriend how much she cares. Are you excited about Tuesday's show? Comment below. Catch the CBS Soap Daily so you don't miss a moment of the drama, and visit SOS often for the best Young and the Restless spoilers, updates, and news. The Young and the Restless has dropped a new preview video for the week of January 20, 2025. It shows Ian Ward targeting Tessa for his next dirty ploy. Meanwhile, Chance and Nick find a clue about Ian's accomplice. Also, watch out for Nikki, Claire, and Victoria joining forces to bring Jordan down for good. Ian manipulates Tessa. Sally has a surprise. Wicked Ian Ward is busy laying his trap rather skillfully. In the upcoming episodes, he corners Tessa and tries to manipulate her to help him. "I have to do this, Tessa, and you have to help me," he urges. It seems that he'll manage to get into her head. However, we hope that Tessa uses her judgment and keep in mind everything that Mariah warned her about regarding Ian. The Young and the Restless preview video shows Sally becoming apologetic when she unintentionally interrupts Billy Abbott's meeting with his brother. However, Jack Abbott assures her that she hasn't interrupted anything and they were just wrapping up. That's great because Sally has a surprise she wants to share with Billy. It could have something to do with the trip to Paris she is meant to take with Billy. Nick and Chance find a clue. Nikki and Claire come up with a plan. Next, we see Nick and Chance snooping around in Ian Ward's motel room. Chance notices a glass with a lipstick stain on it. He jokes to Nick that it doesn't look like Ian's shade. The two deduce that Ian has an accomplice and it's likely a woman. But will they realize the woman is, in fact, Aunt Jordan? Hopefully, they'll find more clues that could lead them to Jordan or Sharon. Across town, Nikki Newman agrees with Claire that Jordan is a nuisance that needs to be taken care of. She states that Jordan is a threat to everyone they love as long as she's still breathing. Claire proposes that they need to figure out their next step where they can take Jordan to finish her off. Nikki has the perfect place in mind, so it seems Nikki, Claire, and Victoria will target Jordan in the upcoming week. But will they succeed? Stay tuned to Soap Opera Daily for more The Young and the Restless spoilers for the answers. Meanwhile, enjoy the full preview video below. The Young and the Restless spoilers for January 20 to 24 focus on pure payback, revenge, torment, and life and death situations. At the end of Friday's episode, Victor walked in on Nikki, Victoria, and Claire huddled up. The women agreed to keep their schemes to themselves, so they didn't fess up to the fact that they were talking about Jordan yet. Next week, Victor is suspicious of Nikki's actions. He likes to be Mr. Protector, so who knows what he'll do about his concerns. Clearly, he does something because, by the end of the week, he doesn't just know about Jordan's return to Genoa City. He does something about it when Victor backs Jordan into a corner. Will Victor subscribe to Claire's thinking? Does he get rid of Jordan permanently, or will someone else get to do it? Operation Rescue Sharon. Sharon is in a bad way. While she freed herself from being shackled to the pipe, she then realized she drank PCP-tainted water and collapsed. Needless to say, her life hangs in the balance next week. Will she be able to get out of danger? Well, it may be up to Nick and Chance, who follow a lead in finding Sharon. In Y&R's next week on promo, it looks like they may find Ian and Jordan's hideout, along with a lipstick-stained glass. It raises their suspicions about Ian having a partner. Is this the lead that will take them straight to Sharon? Odds and ends. While Jordan is on the defense next week, her accomplice is on the offense. Look for Ian to torment Mariah. How does he do that? Does he make her remember their shared past? Mariah already feels guilty and takes the blame for what's happened to Sharon, even though she shouldn't. Things get even more intense for Mariah when she makes a shocking discovery. What does she find that shocks her? Does she find Sharon? What could it be? Finally, Claire does put her plan to kill Jordan into motion when she gains Jordan's trust. Now, obviously, Jordan could be on to her, but she's also so lonely that she could fall for Claire's ruse. Can Claire trust Jordan's trust in her? The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Ian Ward will find a way to add to Mariah Copeland's torment during the week of January 20 to 24. Mariah is already miserable over Sharon Newman's abduction, and we can't forget how Ian targeted Tessa Porter at Society too. However, Mariah's worst fear could come true if Ian goes after Area Porter Copeland next. That's been a concern on Mariah and Tessa's minds, so the show might as well follow up on this with some kidnapping drama. Y&R fans can expect Mariah to end up in more distress in the coming episodes, since Mariah will make a stunning discovery that could mean she'll be horrified over Area going missing. We all know what Ian is capable of, so he might knock out the nanny and bolt with Area. If Ian finally accepts that Mariah isn't going to embrace him as a father figure again, he may keep a promise he previously made to Jordan. Back when Ian's partnership with Jordan was still intact, he insisted they'd punish Mariah and Claire Newman if they didn't get what they wanted. There'd be no better way to punish Mariah than by abducting her little girl. Plus, Ian might be demented enough to think he can just start fresh with a new daughter to groom. Perhaps Ian will essentially view Area as a second chance to play daddy and impart his twisted wisdom. Whatever the case, Area is definitely a risk as long as Ian is alive and in Genoa City. Mariah may fly into panic mode if her upcoming discovery involves Area's vanishing act. One thing's for sure, this whole Ian situation is bound to get worse before it gets better. Mariah already has enough on her plate worrying about missing Sharon, but she may add to her woes if Area disappears too. Will Mariah and Tessa face their worst nightmare? Will Lion kidnap Area and cause more chaos with his disturbing behavior? Our Y&R predictions hint that Ian may ultimately face a fatal exit, but he'll have additional tricks to pull off in the meantime. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Mariah will get updates on some unsettling news, no matter what, so stay tuned. The Young and the Restless spoilers and updates tease fans are wondering if Claire Newman is leaving the show. Claire has put herself in serious danger by trying to turn the tables on crazy Aunt Jordan using her own tricks she'd learned from her against her. As soon as Claire laid eyes on Jordan, the atmosphere shifted dramatically. She started to complain about the Newman family to draw Jordan into her web, particularly her mother, Victoria Newman. This was merely a ruse to convince Jordan that Claire was in her corner. Upcoming spoilers hint that Claire rushes to inform Victoria and Nikki, Melody Thomas Scott, about Jordan's newfound freedom, signaling that trouble is on the horizon for Claire. It's clear that once Jordan discovers Claire's betrayal, her life will hang by a thread after all. Jordan is driven by a thirst for revenge. Y&R spoilers. Claire Grace is not leaving, not being killed off the show. Fans can breathe easy. Claire isn't going anywhere on the beloved CBS soap. Haley has secured a multi-year contract to portray Claire, ensuring she has plenty of time left in her role. The actress has shown no desire to depart from the show or step away from her character. Additionally, head writer Josh Griffith has exciting plans for Claire and Kyle Abbott in 2025. positioning them as Genoa City's own star-crossed lovers amid their family's ongoing feud. While Claire's future on the show is secure, she may still find herself in peril, especially with Jordan discovering her past actions. With Jordan and Claire reuniting, it's the perfect moment to revisit Claire's intricate ties to Jordan and the Newman family. The Young and the Restless spoilers. The story of baby Eve Claire Grace Newman. When Claire first appeared on the show, she worked as Nikki Newman's assistant. Soon, viewers found out that Claire was actually working for Jordan, who sought revenge on Nikki and Victor Newman. Jordan was angry about what they did to her sister, Eve Howard. Years ago, Eve was also the mother of Cole Howard. After Jordan tricked the Newmans and Cole into going to a secluded house in Oregon with plans to harm them, it was revealed that Claire was the daughter of Cole and Victoria. They were told she died a newborn, but Jordan had taken her to raise her for revenge against the Newmans. But Claire has formed a bond with her parents and grandparents. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Jordan dumped her alliance with Ian Ward, however, not before Ian told Jordan some intel about Abby Winters. Could Jordan decide to get rid of Ian by kidnapping Dominic Newman, Abbott Winters' chancellor? If so, could Jordan frame Ian for the crime and get rid of him for good? Keep reading and let's talk about the possibilities. I&R spoilers reveal that Ian did bust Jordan out of prison. The deal was that Jordan and Ian would help each other with getting their revenge. However, Ian was released legally while an imposter took Jordan's place, so that led Ian to have Jordan commit most of the crimes. After all, the reformed villain needs to keep his hands clean. Well, Jordan warned she was getting fed up with Ian. Of course, Ian didn't listen, and now Jordan has severed their alliance. Not before Ian told Jordan some intel, though. Ian told Jordan that he was thrown out of society by Abby. Ian was pretty ticked off about it, too. It would be easy to see Jordan and Ian trying to sabotage each other. Who is going to strike whom first and how? The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Jordan's primary goal is to get Claire Grace Newman back. While Claire wants her evil aunt dead, Jordan wants her puppet back. In the meantime, Jordan won't just sit around. Jordan is going to do some evil deeds, one that might also take care of Ian. After all, the last thing that Jordan needs is for Ian to point her out to the cops. It's possible that knowing Abby threw Ian out of society, maybe Jordan comes up with an idea. This idea might not only take care of Ian, but earn Jordan a new little assistant. Could Jordan end up kidnapping Dominic? Of course, Mariah Copeland would instantly point the finger at Ian. Even if they don't find the baby, Ian could still be blamed as he had that tense interaction with Abby. That could lead to Ian going to prison while Jordan raises Dominic as her own. With Melissa Ordway only on recurring now, could that lead to her trying to hunt down Jordan and Dominic? That certainly would be an interesting twist, but one many fans might not like. There's nothing like catching that perfect moment on camera, one that you'll cherish forever, one that your spouse can't talk their way out of. The Young and the Restless Melissa Ordway just so happened to get lucky enough to catch the sweetest one on camera. In the video, Ordway's husband Justin Gaston is seated in a chair with the couple's oldest daughter Olivia, who was reading a book to her dad, as captioned on the video. When your kids read to you, fans were able to see just what happened during this particular father/daughter story time. As Olivia read the book, she took a second to peek up at her dad, who had fallen asleep, then continued reading as if it were nothing out of the ordinary. No acting required, Ordway stated. Just happened to get lucky enough to catch this on camera, to which Gaston replied, literally can't keep my eyes open when she starts reading. Well, that would explain why Olivia didn't seem bothered by her pop falling asleep. From Gaston's comment, apparently her calming voice has that effect on him. For those who don't know, Ordway's family moved to Tennessee, and while the family was having a snow day in Tennessee last week, Ordway thought of those battling the fires in Los Angeles and expressed, "Our hearts and prayers are with Le. Ours are as well, as many soap stars lost their homes, including Eric Braeden, who plays Ordway's on-screen father Victor." The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Chelsea Lawson and Victoria Newman recently had a nice chat at the Jazz Lounge, where they almost seemed like they were becoming friends. However, that could be the calm before the storm if Victoria gains a reason to clash with Chelsea again. Victoria thinks Chelsea's influence on Adam Newman is a good thing, so she basically gave Chelsea a nudge toward a reunion. It was interesting to see Victoria and Chelsea being so friendly, but how long will it last? Now that Chelsea is moving in the old ranch house with Adam and Connor Newman, she could end up spending a lot more time with Johnny Abbott. Connor and Johnny have formed a strong bond as brothers, so they're going to like living on the same property. The old ranch house obviously isn't too far from the tack house, so Johnny might start hanging out with Connor all the time. The closer Johnny gets to Connor, the closer he could get to Chelsea as well. Victoria's jealousy could flare if Chelsea and Johnny's relationship blooms right before her eyes. I and our fans will recall that Chelsea is Johnny's biological mother, so there's the potential for them to develop a deeper connection. From Victoria's perspective, it may feel like she's losing her spot as Johnny's main mother figure. Victoria has sympathy for Chelsea's past mental health issues, but Chelsea is doing fine now and won't get a pass if Victoria feels like she's trying to usurp her role. Of course, Chelsea would never intentionally try to take Victoria's place, but she might overstep inadvertently and cause problems. Victoria is going to need a new story once all this Jordan drama winds down, so some reignited tension with Chelsea might play out. Regardless, the show's never fully explored Chelsea and Johnny's bond, at least not as much as they could. This is a chance to take that further and have Johnny genuinely connect with Chelsea, so we'll see if Y&R takes advantage of it. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Victoria and Chelsea could wind up sparring sooner or later, so stick with us for more conflict predictions and updates on any tense news to come. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Claire Newman has made progress in convincing Jordan that she's back on her side. That said, Claire knows there's still work to be done when it comes to establishing trust. That's why Claire will make some bold moves and try to show Jordan that things can be like they were before. Claire will play the part of Jordan's loyal little soldier and make her believe she's gone all in on Newman family destruction. To help sell that plan, Claire will make a risky move. I and our fans can expect Jordan to pay a visit to the tack house, where Claire will invite her in for a strategy session. Considering how dangerous Jordan is, Claire will be taking the gamble by bringing her on the Newman property. Since Jordan can be a wild card and is capable of anything, there might be concerns about her going rogue if she suspects something's off. Nevertheless, Claire will do her best to get rid of any lingering suspicions or reservations that Jordan might have. Failure isn't an option from Claire's perspective, so she'll rely on all the sinister tricks she learned from Jordan herself. By bringing Jordan into the home she shares with Victoria Newman, Johnny Abbott, and Katie Abbott, Claire may act like it's evidence that she can be trusted. Perhaps Claire will use the location of this meeting to prove she doesn't care about the safety of her new family. Regardless, Claire will definitely play up her fake desire for revenge and get Jordan excited about another chance at payback. This will no doubt be wonderful news for Jordan as she takes it all in. Once Claire goes over the details of how they're going to make the Newmans suffer, Jordan should be even more convinced that Claire's in her corner. However, Victor Newman will cook up a plan of his own that'll clash with the one Claire's set in motion, so stick with us for more predictions on all the mayhem. The Young and the Restless spoilers say major Jordan drama is about to erupt, so stay tuned for updates on all the growing danger. The Young and the Restless spoilers, a web of deception, Victor's battle with Claire and Jordan. Juneau City was no stranger to scandals, but the revelation about Claire and Jordan was about to become one of the most explosive twists in the Newman family saga. The world of the Newman Empire, helmed by the indomitable Victor Newman, was built on power, loyalty, and an unrelenting drive to protect what was his. However, even the sharpest instincts couldn't prepare Victor for the tangled web of deception Claire and Jordan wove. A new side of Claire. Victor Newman had always prided himself on his ability to read people. Claire, with her polished demeanor and saccharine promises of loyalty, initially seemed like a valuable ally. After all, she had sworn to help the Newman family navigate a particularly volatile period. However, Victor had learned long ago that words meant little without action, and Claire's actions were raising red flags. It all started after Claire reunited with Jordan. The encounter seemed innocent enough at first, but Victor noticed something unsettling. Claire's mannerisms shifted subtly yet unmistakably. Her words, always carefully curated to align with the Newman family's goals, began to ring hollow. Instead of supporting the Newman Empire, her suggestions seemed to undermine it, subtly steering decisions in directions that favored Jordan's interests. Victor wasn't one to ignore his gut. He began to monitor Claire closely, his piercing eyes watching every move she made. Behind the scenes, he mobilized his vast network of resources to uncover the truth about her motives. The shocking revelation. Victor's suspicions were confirmed in a way he hadn't anticipated. The truth came not from Claire but from Cole, who was caught in the crossfire of the unfolding drama. Reluctantly, Cole admitted to Victor that Claire wasn't Victoria's daughter, as everyone had been led to believe. Instead, Claire was the child of Jordan, a man with a history of animosity toward the Newman family. Cole's revelation hit Victor like a lightning bolt. This wasn't just a case of deception. It was a calculated move by Jordan to infiltrate the Newman dynasty. Claire and Jordan weren't just allies, they were deeply connected, both by blood and by a shared vendetta against Victor and everything he stood for. The two had apparently reconciled their differences and forged an alliance that could only be described as terrifyingly formidable. Jordan and Claire were no longer playing defense. They had moved into offensive territory, plotting together to dismantle Victor's carefully constructed empire. For the first time in years, Victor Newman felt a flicker of doubt, but it was quickly extinguished by his unshakable resolve to protect his family. Victor's retaliation. Victor wasn't one to sit idly by as his enemies closed in. Once he confirmed the depth of Jordan and Claire's betrayal, he moved swiftly and decisively. Knowing that traditional methods wouldn't suffice, Victor orchestrated a plan as ruthless as it was ingenious. In a dramatic turn of events, Victor set a trap for the duo. Using his extensive connections, he isolated Jordan and Claire, ensuring they had no way to escape. Then, in an unexpected move that shocked even those closest to him, Victor locked the two of them together, forcing them into confinement. The message was clear: betrayal came with consequences, and no one, no matter how cunning, could outmaneuver Victor Newman. The aftermath? The fallout was seismic. Jordan and Claire, now at Victor's mercy, faced the full weight of his wrath. Their alliance, once so seemingly unstoppable, began to fracture under the pressure of confinement and Victor's relentless psychological tactics. He wasn't just punishing them, he was dismantling their bond piece by piece, turning their shared strength into a liability. Meanwhile, the Newman family rallied behind Victor. Though the betrayal had left deep scars, it also served as a reminder of their shared resilience. Victoria, reeling from the revelation about Claire, drew closer to her father, vowing to stand by him as they faced this new challenge together. But Victor knew this wasn't the end. Jordan and Claire were cunning, and their alliance, however strained, still posed a threat. Victor's next moves would need to be just as calculated, just as ruthless as the actions that had brought him to this point. The Newman legacy endures. In Genoa City, alliances shift and betrayals are inevitable. But one thing remains constant: Victor Newman's unyielding determination to protect his family and his legacy. The saga of Claire and Jordan was far from over, but Victor had proven once again that no one, no matter how clever or connected, could challenge him without consequences. As the dust settled, Victor stood at the helm of the Newman Empire, as resolute as ever. The battle might have been hard-fought, but the war for the Newman legacy was far from over. And if there was one thing Victor knew better than anyone, it was how to win. At the ranch, Nikki and Victoria pace as Claire sits on the sofa. Finally, Nikki asks if they agree to Claire's plan and kill Jordan. Could they actually pull it off? Victoria can't believe her mother is actually considering cold-blooded murder. Nikki thinks it might be justice. Victoria reminds her that she saved her life when she drank the vial of poison. Nikki thinks Claire is right, that Jordan will never stop. She's tried to kill all of them. It has to end. Victoria thinks they should let the authorities handle her. Nikki asks her to look at how that's worked out. She won't stop until they're dead, so they have to stop her first. Victoria doesn't want to stoop to Jordan's level. Claire says she could feel her aunt's evil. She will come after them again and again. Others in their orbit could be collateral damage. Nikki reminds Victoria about her sponsor, Seth. Victoria says that doesn't mean they have to go vigilant. Nikki won't let Jordan anywhere near Claire if she has to put a stake through her heart herself. Victoria says this plan scares her more than anything. Claire reminds her that no one knows Jordan is out, and no one will be looking for her. Claire informs her mother she can't talk her out of this. At Society, Victor thanks Adam for coming. Adam notes he said it was about Ian. He can't believe that bastard's back in town. Victor thinks he's the perfect person to take him down. Adam guesses this is because he teamed up with him back in the day. He's ashamed of that and hopes they'd moved on from it. Victor reassures his son and tells him he wants Newman Media to launch a full-scale attack on Ward, questioning the legitimacy of his release. Go after him. He wants him smeared to the point he's scared to be in public. Adam would love nothing more, but does he really think that will scare this guy away? Victor says it's only the beginning. Leave it to me. Nick goes to Sharon's house and updates Mariah that the police have footage of Sharon being kidnapped. They drugged her, threw her in her car, and took off. They couldn't see who it was, but they're going to check other cameras. Mariah cries that it's good they have news, but the waiting is excruciating. Nick vows they'll find her and bring her home. He assures Mariah that Sharon is still alive. She's possibly being held hostage. Mariah thinks Ian is behind it. This all plays into Nick's theory that he's working with someone. His partner must have kidnapped Sharon while he was with them. How do we figure out who it is? Nick doesn't know, but if they find that person, they'll find Sharon. Nick wonders if there was anything in Mariah's conversation with Ian that might point to who his partner is. Mariah says no, but she suggests it could be someone he met whilst playing chaplain. Nick thinks they should get a list of inmates recently released. He gets on the phone and then tells Mariah that Chance will put together a list to see if anything raises a red flag. He's hopeful this will lead to convicting Ian. Mariah asks if it's weird she hopes that Ian's as innocent as he claims. Nick asks why. Mariah says because then none of this would be her fault. If Ian is guilty and here because of her, that guilt is overwhelming. It's unbearable. I don't want him to be guilty. I just hope it's not Ian. I hope to God it's not Ian. Nick hugs her. In the sewer, Sharon keeps hammering away at the chain with the black pipe. She jabs some more and then cries in frustration. Sipping her water, Sharon looks around blearily. Oh no, please. This is the same way I felt in Heather's apartment. She realizes the water is drugged. The PCP that was in my meds, she gasps. At the ranch, Victoria wants Claire to take time to think about things more clearly. Claire says she's very clear about what has to happen, and she's prepared to do it. Victoria won't let her do it. Claire says she can't stop her. Victoria worries that Jordan will catch on, and Nikki concedes it's a dangerous game that could go wrong. Claire is aware, but she knows her aunt's weakness. All she has to do is convince her she's ready to join her again against the horrible Newmans. Victoria is sure she won't buy it. Claire thinks she already is, because it's what she wants to believe. She's already laid the foundation. Victoria is still scared that Jordan will catch Claire in a lie. Claire will prove to her that she's her best student and that this was all a grand scheme to be accepted by the Newmans. Nikki warns that woman has a sixth sense. Claire knows she'll be all in. She'll be so busy congratulating herself that she won't see it coming. Claire will lure her into the con, and they'll have her right where they want her. They'll be able to put an end to this nightmare. Victoria states that she means killing her. Claire says using that word won't stop her. She'd be neutralizing her. Victoria refuses to risk spilling Claire's blood. At Society, Adam reminds Victor that Ian is very dangerous and psychotic. Victor grits that he will get that bastard. Adam warns if he's in town, he's got a plan. There are no weaknesses to exploit. Victor disagrees. He has a massive ego. He'll react out of pure arrogance. Adam asks, and when he does? Victor replies, I'll crush him, like a roach. Adam is on board to help his father and the family any way he can. You know that I regret the moves that I made with Ian against you in the past, right? Victor nods. Adam tells his dad he'll always have his back. Victor appreciates that. He sighs and they bump fists. Victor needs to know when he and Connor are moving on to the ranch. Ian Ward is on the loose. He wants them all under one roof where he can protect them. At the ranch, Claire tells Victoria she can handle whatever Jordan throws at her. She will make it clear that burning the Newmans to the ground is her plan. She's sorry to say that word, but she'll do whatever it takes to make this happen. Victoria clucks that it's too risky. Claire knows how Jordan's mind works. Nikki warns the dynamic has changed between her and Claire. Victoria wants to take this to Victor. Claire says absolutely not. Victoria tries, then let's talk to Cole. Claire says no, he'll want them to show mercy. They'll always be one heartbeat away from Jordan trying to destroy everything. Claire says they could have died because of her. This is her redemption. Nikki and Victoria tell her she's as much a victim as they were. Claire must do what needs to be done. I will walk out of here right now, and I will disappear until it's done. You won't be able to stop me. At Society, Adam tells Victor that he'd like to make the move to the ranch as soon as possible. Victor's chuffed to hear that Adam and Connor asked Chelsea to move in as well. It was Connor's idea, Adam explains, and it doesn't mean they're getting back together. Victor tells his son this makes him very happy. Adam muses that Connor is so smart at managing his OCD, they just want to support him. Victor thinks they can't be too cautious with Ian out there and Sharon having disappeared. He updates Adam on Sharon's abduction. Adam sighs. He hopes she's alive. The more time that passes, the less likely it is. Victor hopes she's strong enough to hold on until they find her. Adam has to go say goodnight to Connor, teases his father about stopping by for tequila, and says he can't wait to take the creep Ian down for good. Victor promises he'll never damage their family again. At Sharon's place, Mariah apologizes to Nick for losing it. Ian has broken so many lives, and now he's there again because of her. The guilt creeps up on her. She hasn't been able to talk about it yet, not even with Tessa. Nick assures her she has nothing to apologize for or feel guilty about. His hatred for the Newmans goes back a very long time. You were a victim. Mariah cries that being raised by Ian, she still has nightmares. But then I wake up to this amazing life that I have, and it's all because of Sharon, her love and her patience with me. She showed me what a real family is. The thought of that monster hurting her, we've got to find her. She has to be able to tell her every single day how much she loves her. Nick says she knows, and Mariah's not to blame for anything that's happened. They need positive energy, and it starts with them. Maria says he's right, positive energy. In the sewer, Sharon cries to herself that she has to keep a clear head. She has to get out of there for her children. Using the black pipe, she tries to pry open the padlock. It snaps and she gasps. Sharon frees herself and stands up. She struggles to see as everything is blurry. She assures herself she'll get out of there. I'm going home. At the ranch, Claire tells Victoria and Nikki that together, they're smarter and stronger than Jordan. Victoria worries, the danger? Claire says the danger is out there. She burned down herself and could go after Katie or Johnny next. Nikki doesn't think they have a choice. But if they do this, the three of them, they will never speak of it again. Are we agreed? Just then, Victor walks in and asks, "What are the three of you scheming?" Victoria says she and Nikki were sharing family stories with Claire. Victor says that gathering from their expressions, they weren't happy stories. They're just worried about Ian. Victor updates them that Sharon was abducted and then excuses himself to go upstairs. Once he's out of earshot, Claire asks, "So, are we agree?" Victoria replies, "God help us, we can't fail." At Sharon's place, Nick tells Mariah they'll get through this by being there for each other. They go over Mariah talking Noah out of flying home and running Cassidy first. She's an amazing wife and mother, and Nick's been relying on her a lot. Mariah admires how he never gives up. "You keep us strong and grounded." He makes them think everything will be ok. They fist bump, and Nick tells Mariah they'll find Ian and whoever he's working with. "We're going to bring your mother home." Maria swears she'll never let anyone hurt her ever again. Genoa City has become a bit unrealistic in a number of ways, as young and restless viewers are happy to point out on social media. But the biggest problem remains the long, drawn-out conversations and the fixation on front-burner characters they've made into giant bores. We love this daytime drama and want to see it thrive, not merely survive. Knocked down, dragged out. Sharon being locked up in a sewer had tension and promise in the beginning. Most were thrilled to see Cameron pop in for a round of snark, and speculation began about who would ultimately come to her rescue. Would it be Nick on his white horse, or would there be a twist and Phyllis would save the life of her nemesis? Instead, we got days of Sharon sipping on an endless bottle of PCP-laced water in what must be the warmest sewer in Wisconsin. If nothing else, the drugs explained Cameron's return. What defies explanation is this. Technicalities. Moving on, Sharon managed to get her hands on a pipe, because of course she did, and used it to break the padlock without hurting herself in the process. Impressive, but not as much fun as a showdown or a big rescue. That said, we may still get one, as she passed out on the ground before she could get herself out of there. Let there be drama. For all Billy's bluster, he told the world this week what we all suspected. He has no idea how to beat Victor Newman, and this whole fight for Chancellor hype was more about finding a way to get back at Adam for sleeping with Chelsea. We've been listening to him drone on about this stuff for weeks, and the man does not even have a plan. If he has any hope of taking Chancellor back, it's going to be because Phyllis comes up with a scheme. And there's every possibility that she will, if only because of her sheer determination to get Daniel into a corner office. Speaking of Adam betting Chelsea, I don't think these two have ever been this dull. He's lost his edge and what made him, well, Adam, and she's lost her volatility and become the most vanilla character on the canvas, second only to Claire. Suddenly, Chelsea gets along with everyone, and there is no conflict, no crazy, no drama in her interactions, and no prospect of any in the near future. This is not it. Further, having every other Genoa City resident give a TD talk about what a good idea it is for Adam and Chelsea to reunite will not make viewers feel it. In fact, if you need to convince the audience, That might be the first clue that it's not a very compelling choice or that the show us part isn't working. Young and restless fans were quick to call out the latest attempt to sell Chatham, proving you simply can't fool them. Evil doors doing nothing. Wow, I wonder what Kyle would think about his new girlfriend, who is ridiculously close to his wee son Harrison, planning a cold-blooded murder. It's definitely something I'd want to be in the loop on if I was dating someone. I'd also want to know that the crazy aunt who kidnapped my kid was on the loose. Anyway, the plan is for Claire, Victoria, and Nikki to lure Jordan to her death and rid Genoa City of her evil once and for all. But I've a hunch that it may not play out that way. Jordan will die, but there are a whole lot of other people who might complete the job and save Claire the trouble. Anyone connected to Sharon, for starters, once they find out she's behind, not only locking her up in the sewer, but also murdering Heather and letting the blonde barista believe she'd done it. Alternatively, it might be a cool twist and a way to take out both of these villains in February sweeps if they set Ian up to kill Jordan, thus sending him back to prison. See a full list of possible suspects who might off Jordan in the photo gallery at the end of this column. While Claire outwitting Jordan in a battle of the psychological wits made for some intense scenes, having Nick and Victor figure out Ian and Jordan's entire scheme over coffee kinda ruins the suspense in the storyline, which has also fallen victim to the too much talk, not enough action writing.